Greetings. I'm Dr. Damon, your Chief Wellness Warrior with Willpower Wellness and Consulting, and I'm super excited to talk to you on this Sunday about how we can show up better in our clinics and for our patients and our practices. So, this is a shout out to my PTs and OTs specifically. I want to share with you guys 3 ways to improve your chronic pain evaluation experience. And you're probably thinking, well, why, first of all, is chronic pain, right, in quotations? And why is this a focus on the evaluation experience and not just how to treat my patients better? Because in my 13 years of practice as a doctor of physical therapy, I know that the experience is a two-way, it's a two-way moment where if I'm not showing up and feeling confident and comfortable, how can I really offer my patient a therapeutic alliance that is going to serve them? So I'm also talking to anyone out there who is dealing with, struggling through, and is trying to conquer their own personal chronic pain. Because what I'm going to talk about today are things that you should be looking for and you should be expecting from those who you are going and seeking out for treatment. That means your doctor, your nurse, your physical therapist, your occupational therapist, your surgeon, anyone that you're seeking out to help you with pain, they should be doing these things that I'm going to share. So this is going to empower you to get the best care that you deserve so that you can conquer your own chronic pain. All right, so we're going to get right to it. When I say this, I'm talking to my PTs and my OTs, and again, my patients and my community members out there. If you are in front of them, you should be looking for these things. My PTs and OTs, when you're doing an evaluation with someone who is telling you about their chronic pain, first we have to recognize that we've got to shift away from chronic pain and respect that it is persistent pain. I know it. Why does that make a big difference? Because chronic pain insists that this is something that someone's going to have to live with for the rest of their life. And we know better. We know better, right? So we're going to shift our focus to persistent pain. And what that means for me in the clinic is that pain is not always the enemy. This is not a chronic issue that is never going to go away that I just have to live with for the rest of my life. But it might be a persistent experience for us right now. So when I talk with my patients and my clients about what persistent pain is, we have to separate this idea that to be in pain is just how I have to live my life, or to be in this much pain is just how I have to survive and how I have to live. So let's shift our focus to persistent pain and helping our clients and our patients and our community members understand the gift that is pain, right? Pain is there to help you understand the dangers of what is happening either on the inside or on the outside for you. So it's there to protect you. And we start from that space of understanding and honoring that pain is just your brain and your body trying to protect you. All right. So now let's talk about those 3 tips that you should be doing actively in the clinic now that we've got that as our baseline. The first thing is, as a clinician, as someone who is there to help them live better, move better, and feel better with less pain, we are not focusing on their impairments the whole time. So in PT school and OT school, we spend a whole lot of time really focusing on the impairments and really getting to like the specific degrees that they're lacking in shoulder range of motion, right? This person is lacking 45 degrees of range of motion. Not to say that that's not necessarily important. Okay, we know the insurance companies want to see it. But what I mean is that person is not in front of you. They're not in your clinic. They're not looking for help from you because they're lacking 46 degrees. They're sitting in front of you because they can't lift their granddaughter anymore. Right? So we're going to shift our focus from the impairment to the function. Yes, we're going to spend a little bit of time taking range of motion, taking strength, and taking strength measurements and looking at some of the objective issues. But I need you to focus on the person. They're there not because his hip is lacking 5 degrees of extension. That person is there because he can no longer go on a hike with his buddies on the weekend. And so his way of self-regulation, his way of self-soothing, his way of stress relief, his way of finding excitement and joy in life is gone. And so he's fearful of losing that. That's why they're there for you. That's why they're there to see you. So I want you to shift your focus not only on the impairments that their body is showing you, but look at them from the biopsychosocial model that allows you to see the psychological ramifications of what they're going through, right? What they're asking you to help them with, and the social parts of what they're trying to maintain in their lives. So that's number one. I want you to shift your focus a little less from the impairments and focus more on the function, the personal function of that person's life. And that means setting goals to that. When I'm working with my clients, yes, I want to know what their range of motion is. I want to know what their strength is. I want to know what their balance is, and make sure those things are highlighted so that we can utilize that. But I'm setting goals that are so specific to that person's life that when the next therapist or the physician or even the insurance company looks at this, they get a mental picture of a video of what that person should be able to do. This person should be able to pick up their 8-month-old baby and carry him for 15 minutes with less than 2 out of 10 pain and within functional strength. Because this person is a parent and they want to care for their child safely and comfortably. We have to set goals that speak to the function, not just the limitation and the impairments that this person has. So that's number one. I hope you guys are following with me. Number two is we're going to emphasize downregulation and self-regulation in the first visit. When we're talking about patients who have persistent pain or chronic pain and they have been suffering through this, one of the biggest gifts you can give them immediately is the understanding that they have so much power within them to down regulate their nervous system, to decrease the severity, to decrease the frequency of their pain experience. So why are we going to focus on that? Because there's so many opportunities looking at just really quickly, breathing techniques, right? Mindfulness activities, thoughts, and exercises, and eating habits. Those are three simple ways that we can help them immediately downregulate their nervous system so that the severity and the frequency of the pain that they came in to see you to help alleviate for them to get back to the functional life that they want to live, those things can help them on the spot. So focus on those things. Yes, we're figuring out ways to make sure that what we're providing to them is medically necessary and that it is deemed appropriate for the business aspect and the business side of what we're providing. But it is so important that we help them and empower our patients and our community members to down regulate their nervous systems on the spot. This means there are certain exercises, activities, breathing techniques, mindfulness practices, visualizations, and meditations and movements that automatically regulate their pain experience and can reduce their pain by 50%. The research is out there. We have to use those tools and take them directly to our patients immediately. Plus, when we are able to help them self-regulate and give them things that they can walk out of the clinic with and use in their daily lives, and they've seen the success of that, guess what? They're more bought into the practice and the journey of healing with you as their clinician. So that second thought, that second tip for you is to emphasize downregulation in that first visit and find the win. I use Tai Chi and the breathing exercise that we call Dantian breathing to achieve that. We may simply sit with one hand on our chest, one hand on our belly, and I'm going to help them take in some deep, big belly breaths. Breathing in a way that they visualize that air coming in through their nose and going down past their lungs to the depths of their belly, making their belly big when they breathe in and making their belly small and contracting as they breathe out. Sounds familiar, right? This is diaphragmatic breathing, and we know that the research shows that diaphragmatic breathing can reduce pain up to 50% in the moment because it down regulates the nervous system. So utilizing those skills and tools in our initial evaluation with our patients helps to build and helps them to understand that there's power within them to live better and to start to conquer that pain right here on the spot. And it builds that alliance that you're looking for. So that's my tip number 2, emphasize down regulation. So the third tip in your evaluation and having a better experience for your patients and for yourself, the third tip is to tell them why. Tell them why. You've already explored and found out exactly what they want to achieve. You've already given them tools and skills to help make a difference in the moment right now, in the seat they're sitting in or standing. Now you want to tell them why this journey is going to look the way it looks. When we're taking our patients through exercises or modalities or activities, they're trusting that you're doing the right thing. But imagine how powerful it feels when they know why you're asking them to do this exercise. When I have a patient or a client who tells me that their main goal is to be able to get back to work where they lift and carry parcels and they're moving boxes, I'm going to tell them why I have them in this certain position or why I have them doing this motion or this breathing exercise. Explain to them the benefit of what they're doing so that they can understand it and link it to why you're asking them to do it. And there is the motivation to not only continue with that exercise, but to move without so much fear of being hurt again. So expressing and explaining to them why you're asking them to do what they do gives them the power to make the decision, and they can start to build not just that rapport with you, but build their faith in the process, especially when it gets really hard. And so explaining to your patients why you're doing what you're doing and giving them the opportunities to make decisions and giving input to that is the big picture when we talk about showing up better for our patients. And I can guarantee you, you will have people walking out saying, I only want to work with that person. I only want to see them. When's the next time they're available? I'll make it work. And it also gives them so much peace and comfort knowing that someone sees them. So many times our patients and our clients are expressing that the doctor doesn't listen to them, that they only got to spend 10 minutes with them, or the nurse didn't understand them, or they're being sent to yet another person. And it feels like that they're not seen, they're not heard, and that their experiences don't really matter. But focusing on these 3 things that I've shared with you will absolutely make a difference. I know, I'm speaking from experience. So I'm excited about this. Those of you who don't know me, I've been a doctor of physical therapy for over 13 years now. I'm a nationally board certified health and wellness coach, and I focus on helping people increase their inner peace and their profits. And so all of this that I've shared with you are just a little bit of the experience of my Willpower Warrior experience, which is for you. It is a holistic training and support experience that is a 90-day concierge experience for you to grow in all of the ways that I've just kind of given you the tip of the iceberg so that you can show up better for your patients, but also for yourself. Because we know that as healthcare workers and providers, we are facing burnout. 75 to 85% of us are dealing with burnout and feeling emotional exhaustion and feeling like this work is draining to us. It is taking more from us than it is giving to us. And we just don't feel like the time, the effort, the energy that we're putting in is even working. And I know a lot of us feel like that. I've been there. And so these experiences and going through this Willpower Warrior experience is a way not only to improve your clinical practice with new skills and tools and resources, but to also include your own personal experience of what health and wellness looks like in your life. I am so excited every time I get to pour into, my fellow rehab warriors and my community members in ways to live better, move better, feel better. And so this is why I'm so excited about this, because when I'm in the clinic and being able to tap into those 3 tips that I just shared with you, right? Emphasizing that person's function instead of their impairments and looking at, their ways that they can self-regulate through eating habits and being able to say, hey, let's just talk about this for a minute, about how what you put in your body makes a difference for you. And we can use this as a fun activity to really help them explore outside of the clinic. They get excited and they want to come back and talk to me about what that looks like. When we are exploring and sharing with them ways to regulate their pain, they feel empowered and they see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And finally, when we share with them why we say and do and ask of them that what we are, then they feel like they're a part of the process. Um, they're not just showing up for you to do things to them. That's how we make a difference. And then on top of that, I know that I am giving so much more than the 4 units that we're charging for and we're fighting for. So if this speaks to you, I hope that you can see your practice and your patients in a new light tomorrow as we go back into our clinics. Some of you guys are going to work today, but I hope that this has helped you. And if it has, please like, comment, and share. Share this with your colleagues. Let's talk about bringing the Willpower Warrior experience to your clinic, either as a team or as individual, because we're practicing and we're seeing the end of PT month. And because of that, I am sharing my Willpower Warrior experience for every person who wants to explore this and so much more of the things that I'm talking about on a personal level. We get to explore that at 50% off. This means you get 16 plus CEU credits, your basic life support with the American Red Cross for 2 years certified, holistic coaching and support, and work with me so that we can explore these different aspects of how you can show up better for yourself, for your family, for your practice, and your community. So I'm excited. We've got just 2 more days in the month. So through the end of October, this will be 50% off. And that means we get to set up on your schedule, on your time, and I get to show up for you. And that just that swells my heart. So I'm excited. We are overcoming burnout, we are overcoming chronic pain, and we are finding peace, happiness, joy, and increased profits. That's our mission. And I hope to hear from you really soon. Send me a DM, right? Reach out to me on my website, thewillpowerwellness.com. Find me on all social media. Talk about this and explore it. Reach out to me. Let's do some work together. Be well.